Welcome to this explainer on the debt escape plan, where we're going to dive into strategies to pay off debt without earning a single penny more. So picture this. It's a random Tuesday night. You're sitting on the couch, right? Phone in hand, checking your bank app. Not because you genuinely want to, but because you kind of have to. And you see a scenario that is incredibly common, yet incredibly stressful. You've got $2,300 on one credit card, $4,800 on another, and maybe 12 grand in student loans just sitting there. Every single month, you make this solemn promise to yourself that this is the month you'll finally make some real progress. But then the month ends, and somehow the balance barely moved. You made a painful $300 payment towards your card, but the actual balance only dropped by a measly $120. You just sit there thinking, how is that even possible? And usually, right about then, you'll see someone online drop that incredibly unhelpful advice like, just earn more money, which, is fantastic advice, except most of us can't magically double our income by tomorrow morning. So the real question we need to answer today is this: how do you actually get out of debt faster with the income you already have? Let's get right into Section 1, the income myth, math and psychology over salary. See, the biggest trap most people fall into is assuming that the only valid ticket out of debt is a bigger paycheck. But the reality is completely different. The speed at which you escape debt is actually determined by a combination of math and psychology. Once you understand how these two specific forces work together, you could start eliminating debt years faster without needing to earn a single extra dollar. Moving to Section 2, how interest traps you, the real enemy of progress. Debt doesn't just trap you with the initial amount you borrowed. It traps you deeply because of how interest silently works against you behind the scenes. Just look at this shocking number. According to the Federal Reserve, the average credit card interest rate is now sitting right around 20% APR. That means if you carry a $5,000 balance, the interest alone is costing you $1,000 every single year. That is $83 a month, completely wasted just for the privilege of existing in debt. Let's break down a standard $150 monthly payment. As you can see, almost half of that payment just vanishes into the interest slice, doing absolutely nothing to lower what you actually owe. Even though you are actively trying to do the right thing, the system is quietly working against you. And honestly, this leads to a dangerous psychological state of hopelessness, because when you put in the effort and don't see any progress, it's incredibly easy to just throw your hands up and stop trying. Which brings us to Section 3, Avalanche versus Snowball method, focusing your firepower. The core problem usually isn't how much money you're paying, it's how you're applying it. Most people do what feels responsible. They spread their extra payments across all their debts. But instead of that garden hose approach, where you spray a little water on 3 different fires without putting any of them out, you need to focus your firepower. Imagine 3 hypothetical debts. Card A at $3,000 burning at a 24% interest rate, Card B at $4,000 at 18%, and Card C at $2,000 at 15%. Mathematically speaking, the most effective strategy is known as the Avalanche method. You pay the absolute minimum on cards B and C, and you throw every extra dollar at card A, because that is the card burning the most money every single day. Now, what's really interesting here is the contrast between 2 very popular strategies. First, you have the Avalanche method, which is the mathematically perfect way attacking the highest interest rate first. But on the flip side, the Snowball method leans heavily into human behavior. It focuses on attacking the smallest total balance first, regardless of the interest rate attached to it. So the crucial point is that while Avalanche saves the most money on paper, psychology changes everything. By using the Snowball method, say aggressively tackling a small $600 medical bill first, you create a tangible win, and small wins create incredibly powerful motivation. In fact, research from Harvard Business School found that people using the Snowball method were significantly more likely to stick with their debt payoff plan long-term. Ultimately, the best strategy is simply the one you'll actually follow through on. Section 4. Redirecting your hidden money. The accelerator trick. Right about now, you might be thinking, well, I don't have any extra money to throw at my debt using these methods, and that is a completely fair objection. But let's look at how we can find hidden money in your current lifestyle without you having to pick up a second job. $314. According to a study by C+R Research, that is the exact amount the average household wastes every single month on subscriptions they barely even use. We're talking streaming services, gym memberships you totally forgot about, random apps, and monthly charges that just fade into the background of your bank statement. Imagine redirecting just a portion of that waste. Let's say you have $8,000 in credit card debt at a 20% interest rate. Making only minimum payments means it takes over 20 years to pay off. 20 years! But if you simply redirect $200 of that wasted subscription money toward your debt, you can eliminate it in about 3 years. It is the exact same income and the exact same lifestyle. You're just pointing your money in a much more effective direction. Section 5. The Lifestyle Normalization Trap. Why six-figure earners stay broke.
This is a behavioral danger that sneaks up on people the exact moment they get just a little bit of financial breathing room. Lifestyle normalization is accidentally increasing your spending and replacing old debt with new debt every time you gain that breathing room or get a raise. You know how it goes. You pay off a credit card and suddenly there's room in the budget to finance a brand new car. The crucial point here is that a higher income alone does not magically fix spending habits. This is exactly why strict discipline is absolutely vital to escaping the cycle permanently.
Final section, stacking payments for freedom, the system that changes everything. Let's bring this all together into a simple, highly actionable system. Step 1, choose either the Avalanche or the Snowball strategy, whichever one keeps you motivated. Step 2, audit your monthly expenses and redirect at least $100 to $300 of hidden money toward that chosen debt. Step 3, once a debt is paid off, do not reduce your monthly payment. Instead, roll those payments forward. I know it sounds boring, but this consistent routine is exactly how you turn a massive 10-year problem into a 3-year solution. Because here is where the real magic happens. Payment stacking means taking that finished $150 payment and rolling it directly into your next debt. Over time, these payments snowball into a massive force, maybe eventually giving you $700 a month to just absolutely attack your final debt. This continuous stacking allows you to crush those remaining balances without ever needing a promotion or a raise at your job. Getting out of debt isn't about one big, glamorous breakthrough. It's about hundreds of small decisions repeated over time. And it matters immensely because, as this powerful quote reminds us, debt doesn't just cost you money, it costs you freedom. Freedom to leave a job you absolutely hate, freedom to take bold risks, and freedom to finally build real wealth. The moment that last debt payment vanishes, all that stacked money is suddenly yours to invest in your future. So I will leave you with this to think about. Which of these strategies are you going to start using today